Hello everybody and welcome back to Central America, the fan-made map, part 2 of this particular scenario. So, we still need, well, we've used about half of our time. We still need to connect the capital cities of Nicaragua, Panama and Costa Rica, and then connect to Cartagena in Colombia. Get rid of the 8.5 million we currently have in company debt, and we also need about 66 million more in company book value. It is worth noting though that if I spend the 6 million to get into Nicaragua, then we lose the 6 million in cash, but the territory is not counted in company book value, so I basically lose 6 million in company book value. So while it says we need 66 million in company book value, we actually technically more likely need 72 million. However, by connecting to Managua, which is the capital city in Nicaragua, we obviously spend money to build track and stations, which adds to our company book value itself. We also get 250,000 in company cash, which obviously adds to company book value that way, and we also get the added benefit of increased production in a particular cargo, like cotton or produce or coal or something. I don't know what it is for Nicaragua itself. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have enough cash, so I think we might as well take out 5% bonds, and then unfortunately we now got 10 million in bonds, so it increases the amount we have to pay back. Hopefully it's going to be all worth it in the end, though. Just another thing is I've done some extra downloading and modding. Well, I say I've done modding. I downloaded a new text file for locomotives that alters the names given to the passenger appeal, so trains are no longer ultra cool, looks sharp, acceptable, ugly. They're now very cool, looks sharp, looks good. I don't know if looks good is better or worse than looks sharp. Acceptable, ugly, very ugly, and gruesome. And I think I'm guessing it's modified the game mechanics as well, because I think gruesome trains, you only get 70% passenger revenue compared to normal, whereas like very cool you get an extra 30%. And I've also downloaded a new custom locomotive called the Pennsy H3. You can get it on the Hawk and Badger Railroad site. It looks fantastic. It's a proper American choo-choo train with a cowcatcher and big chimney. But unfortunately, because it is a freight train, the designer of the locomotive made the train gruesome. Personally, I think it looks cool, but obviously because it's a freight train, he had to make it gruesome. Otherwise, it'd be a bit unrealistic. In that regard. But yeah, it's actually a really awesome train because it goes at top speed of, I think, 50 miles an hour. But unfortunately it's not in this map, and I think that's just because I started this scenario before I downloaded the train itself. Because it becomes available in 1889, but as you can see it's not there. But you can see, like, for example, the Camelback is acceptable, the S3s looks good, 8-wheeler looks good, P8 looks good, the Shay looks good, whereas the Consolidation is classified as very ugly. Personally, I think the Consolidation looks cool, but because obviously it's a freight train. The mod also actually did modify some of the stats, I think, of the 8-wheeler and the Consolidation. It certainly modified the Consolidation, because it now goes at 50 miles an hour rather than 45 miles an hour, and it went at 45 miles an hour thanks to a patch that brought it down from 60 miles an hour. So it's basically gone, long story short, from 60 to 50. And it's no longer available in 1865, it's now available in 1875, which is better because originally I had it like in 1881, which kind of made it useless when compared to the Mogul, which becomes available in, I don't actually know, I think it's still 1861, but the Mogul seemingly not available in 1902. So it kind of adds a bit of extra variety and a bit of extra balance between the Mogul, the Consolidation, the 8-wheeler, the 10-wheeler, which is actually not in this map for some reason. Don't know why that is. Maybe the 10-wheeler, because the 10-wheeler becomes available in about 18... I thought it was 1892, so it should be available. Again, maybe for whatever reason it's just not available. Possibly because it's like an old, or maybe because I've modified it since the game, I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to these things. But anyway, we made it to Managua. So let's just build hotels and whatnot in Managua, since it seems like there's a fair amount of passengers and mail, and they want to go to Choluteca, which is quite handy. Are there any profitable industries in Managua? There are a few looking things. There's a dairy processor that's not really worth buying, meat packing plant that's not really worth buying, a distillery that's losing money. But yeah, we can get a 8-wheeler. So most of my trains at the moment are actually P8s. The P8 is actually now, it's very reliable. Passengers like it as well. It's also very good on hills. But where hills aren't a problem, we might as well just use the 8-wheeler because it's fast and very good on the flats, and it's also got good stats, and passengers like it. So the S3, very reliable. Quite expensive. It's okay on hills, but compared to like the P8, it's probably not as good. So might as well just use the 8-wheeler. Also, sorry if I sound a bit like a tutorial. This is kind of like my first time playing with these things because I literally downloaded this like 2 days ago. And also I've not played this map since I recorded part 1, which obviously will be uploaded with this part 2, but I recorded it some time ago. Yeah. Welcome to Nicaragua. This is the largest country in Central America with 2 of the largest freshwater lakes. Most of the Mosquito Coast falls in Nicaragua, named after the local Mosquito Indians. It became a hiding ground for pirates, slaves, and revolutionaries. Great. Rice farms will now increase production. Yeah, so... And access to Costa Rica has been reduced to 5 million. So... We need 5 million instead of the 10 million that I think it was originally to get to Costa Rica. And that's just simply because we've built in Nicaragua. But also, if you look worldwide, or map-wide, it said rice farms have increased production, but realistically, all the rice is in Nicaragua anyway. I mean, there's some poking around here and there, but yeah, most of it is in just Nicaragua anyway. But there's a lot of demand for it, and that's just because of the fact that breweries themselves obviously demand rice. The ports, or at least some ports, do supply rice. Unfortunately not the ports that we currently have access to, apart from that of Port of San Jose in Guatemala. Yes, I mean